Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Linda Sue Plants for You. I know it's been a while since I've been, since you've seen me or heard from me, and I apologize for that, but couldn't be helped, so I'm just happy to be here and be able to do this for you today. Today, I'm going to repot this Ficus Ginseng, and my granddaughter got this for me, and because she said it was so different, and I said, yeah, it is very different, and not something I would have probably been attracted to myself, but the more I looked at it, the more it grew on me, and now I think it's really kind of neat. So I'm going to repot this in this pot here that I've had for a while. I got from a thrift store a long time ago, and my husband drilled some holes in the bottom. And I've got a little frog. I might add him in there. We'll see. Now this plant, I know that there are most of the videos that I've seen on this particular plant were turned into bonsai, the bonsai trees. And while I've seen some very, very beautiful bonsai displays, I know that there's a real talent that comes with that, and it's not in me, so I would never attempt to do a bonsai. I shouldn't say never, but I don't see it in my very near future, put it that way. But I do appreciate the work and the talent that goes into forming the bonsais. But this we're just going to put in a shallow pot and with some decorative stone, and I think it'll look nice in there. I'm hoping. And we'll see what happens. The leaves are very succulent-like, and because of that and the fact that it has this trunk, I would assume that it does not like a lot of water because it holds water. And you can probably get 10 different answers from 10 different people when you research this plant. So who has the right answer, I don't know, but for me, I'm just going to go by my common sense, and that tells those two things tell me that this is going to want to dry out a little bit, maybe similar to the money tree and also my ponytail palm, because that also has a thick trunk and they hold water, and this can rot very easily, and I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to go ahead and start here. I do have my mixture that I got, and I want to talk a little bit about this today. I bought some potting soil, black gold potting soil, and this wasn't the, it was a little bit different than the first mixture I bought from them, and I'm not quite sure what the difference was, but it was just plain black soil. There was nothing else in it. I had to add the orchid bark and the cocoa coir and the perlite, and that's okay. The problem is, and I didn't lift the bags, my granddaughter did when she went to get the soil for me, and then my husband came home and saw the soil in the laundry room, and he says, there's water coming out of those bags. I said, oh no. So he opened them up, and he said you could take and wring the water out by squeezing that soil. I can only assume that those bags were sitting outside and getting snow on them. I don't know, but that is not a good way to start, and I was not very happy about that. And when my granddaughter carried those in here, I didn't realize how heavy they were. My husband is a big man, and he's strong, and he said they had to weigh about 70 pounds apiece, and I felt so bad for my had I known that, I would not have purchased those. So then the other side of it is, my husband opened up the bags, and he took these boxes that I have, that I purchased my distilled water in. They come 3 gallons in a box from Menards, and they're about 69 cents a gallon, something like that. So I had a couple empty boxes back there, and he took some tape and taped up the bottom, and then he put the soil in those boxes in front of our heating vent to try to get it to dry out quicker. And that worked, but I do see an influx again of fungus gnats. And those of you that have been following me know that I had a huge issue with that last fall, and it took forever to get rid of them, and now I have them back again. So, boy oh boy, that's just not a good thing. I don't know where these fungus gnats are coming from. I've been raising plants my whole life, and I am 66 years old, so that's a long time. And years ago, we never even heard of fungus gnats. I don't understand it. But at any rate, it is what it is, so we have to just work with it. I've got those ugly orange fly strips hanging up all over the house. Well, not all over. I've got 3 of them, but that's 3 too many. They're stinky looking, and I don't like them, but they do work. And I also use a granule systemic to put in my soil. But I don't really like using that. It's a poison, and it is what it is. But I can't live with fungus gnats with another outbreak of those. So that's where I'm at with that. So I don't know. I guess the lesson here is don't buy wet soil. If the bag isn't lightweight, pass it up and ask the manager if they have something that's drier or that hasn't been outside. And maybe that'll help. I don't know. But okay, so here we go. I'm going to add a little bit of sand, and I usually do that with my succulents. Just to give the potting mix a different texture, and my succulents seem to really like it. So a little bit of sand, and like I said, I've got perlite and cocoa coir and orchid bark in here. Not a lot, but a little bit. Alright, so let's get this out of here. Got my trusty green bucket that you all will probably recognize. My daughter says that's my signature, my bright green pot, and that's okay. Alright, I want to take just some of the loose stuff off. I'm not going to disturb this too much. No, that was the other thing. When I got this, it was very wet, and it's still wet. Not wet, it's damp. So I am not going to water this for a couple days. I'm going to give it a couple days in the dry soil mixture that I'm putting it in, and then let it dry out a little bit, because you can see, I hope, how that's sticking together there. It's very wet. And that's crazy, because look at the drain holes that were in here. I mean, there's no way that should have been that wet. So hopefully it'll be okay. The roots feel, what I can see are, they're okay. I'm not too happy with this right now, but like I said, we'll just, I'm trying to open it up a little bit so it gets some air in it, but I think you all know that when you have wet roots and you try to pull them apart, you tend to pull the roots with it, so I don't want to do that either. I think we're just going to leave this as it is, and like I said, I'm going to put it in the dry soil and take it from there. I think that'll help dry it out a little bit. I got a little bit from underneath there. So I've been watching getting caught up on all the videos of the people that I subscribe to, and I just want to take a moment to say, if you are one of them and you have not heard any comments from me, I apologize. I wasn't able to do that. I was able to watch them on TV on my Roku, but I wasn't able to comment because I have to do that on my computer, and I was not well enough. So if I can give you a thumbs up on the TV, but it doesn't let me comment, or if it does, I don't know how. So, but I'm trying to get caught up. Some of you have got some really wonderful videos out there, and I just love to watch, and I think the plant community has got so many wonderful people in it, and I'd like to be a part of that on a daily basis. It's my goal, and I do appreciate all of you who have subscribed to me. If you haven't and you want to see more of this or other things that I do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like what I do, give me a thumbs up. And I very much appreciate that, and it tells me you're still watching and you like what I'm doing and that I need to do more. Okay. Alright, I think we got enough of this off of here. I'm trying to move you a little closer, huh? Okay. And that is soil from that it came in, folks. This I'm throwing out. I never keep my soil that the plants come in because I don't know what's living in it, if anything. And the other side of that is most nurseries or places where you buy plants from, they use soil with those fertilizing pellets in it. And I don't know how old they are. I don't know if they're still releasing food. And, you know, I think that sometimes we can get we over fertilize because we don't realize that those pellets are in there and they're still releasing fertilizer. You can see them in the soil. They're usually blue or green in color. I think I've seen some that are like a pale yellow, but the majority of them are, I think, blue and green. And the idea is the slow release, so depending on how long that plant has been in that pot, you can't really know how much food is left in that pellet. So I try to stay away from those soils. And I know people do use it with great success, and that's okay. I made homemade chili last night for dinner, and I haven't made that in so long. It's been years, and I don't know why it's so easy to make. I think it's because when I make that, I still have to make a whole separate meal because my husband is a big eater, and 2 bowls of chili is not going to fill him up at the end of a work day. But last night it did. He ate the chili, and then I made some cornbread, and he was satisfied with that, so that was good. Okay, now I can see that I'm running into an issue already, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. As you can see, this part was in the soil because it was on an angle, and there's all kinds of roots coming down from here. I don't know if you can see that. And I want to get those back in soil, but in order to do that, I got to bring the soil line up so high. So, let's see. I gotta think about this a minute. Maybe, and I don't want to put him on an angle. I want him to be straight up. Maybe I could just pile the soil up on one side. Let's try that. I don't think it'll hurt to have the stump part sticking out and getting dry, because that's not going to hurt that. But what does need to be in there are the roots. And I'm not sure. I think maybe they'll find their way back down there. But you can see here there's quite a few that'll be sticking out if I don't get that soil level up. Oh, that's a bummer. Alright. Well, maybe somebody out there has an idea for me. I wonder how you all are getting through the winter. We actually had a pretty mild winter this year, and I'm surprised. I think when I was looking it up in fall on the Farmer's Almanac and a couple other sites that people tend to go to, I'm pretty sure it said we were going to have it really super cold again, and an unusual amount of precipitation, and we really didn't get either. But I don't know. And my friend who has ducks and chickens, Suzette from Suzette's Garden, she has a channel too on YouTube. And beautiful plants, by the way. Gorgeous plants. And she was telling me that she pays attention to how her animals molt, and that according to what her experience, she said it's not gonna, I don't think we're gonna have a real harsh winter. And she was right. So maybe she should start a weather channel. Just kidding, Suzette. Okay. I don't know, folks. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but it's the best that I know what to do with this right now, so we're going to leave it at that. And I want to put in some decorative stone here too, and I think the white would look really pretty with that. And then I have this that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to put that in there, but that might be too much. I think he looks kind of cute. And I think this is too much. I'm going to save this for a different project. But I do want to put some of these stones in here. And whatever I don't use, I'll have to put in a baggie. I get these at the Dollar Tree. I'm sure most of you have seen this there. They're getting all their spring stuff in. They had a ton of plastic planters and all kinds of things for your garden. I might end up using this whole bag. that's okay too. Yeah, we're supposed to get some warm weather this weekend. That'll be nice. Melt that ice in my driveway. I always cringe when people walk on that. We got a gravel driveway and it's so hard to get it ice free. We almost always have either ice or slush. And we talked about getting that paved, but it's a huge driveway. It would cost many, many thousands. And we're just average working people, so it's probably not going to happen in our lifetime. We also have, we live in kind of a low-lying area, and our ground is kind of peat moss, and we're surrounded by lakes here, and little canals and rivers, and so there's a lot of movement. So even if we could afford a huge concrete driveway, I don't know if we would if we would do it anyway, because I think it would break up. In between our house and garage, the people that owned this home before us had concrete in there, and it's very thick. But every winter it moves, and quite a few winters there was about a 6 to 7, 8 inch difference from one piece to the other. That's how much because the water that's underneath there freezes and it expands and pushes up on that concrete. So I don't know if that would even work to cover that driveway. And I know some people use blacktop, but that breaks up too. So I don't know what the answer is to that, but you don't care about my driveway. You care about my plant. Okay, so there's still, as you can see, there's still a few roots sticking out here, but I'm not going to worry about that. I think it's going to be okay. And I think it's just probably going to dry up, and if I lose a couple leaves, oh well, you know, it'll go. It's a very healthy plant right now, so I'm not too worried about it. And like I said, I'm not going to water this. I'm not going to water this for a while. I should have turned this. I think this frog would have looked better over here, but that's okay. Alright, so that's that. I got a few stones left. I want to put a couple of these in there. Just to give it a little interest. I don't know, what do you think? Let me know what you think about my decorations there. If you think they're corny looking, or do you think they add to it? And you can be honest, it won't hurt my feelings. Should I put a blue one in there? No, that's too much, right? Yeah. I think it kind of matches the frog, don't you? I think that looks kind of nice. Probably enough. And I am working on, well, I just started because I haven't been able to, but I'm trying to do some rearranging here of my plants, because over the winter things grew, and some plants I gave to my girls. One plant died, and some grew out of their space. So I have a lot of cleaning up to do. I guess you probably all can relate to that. So that's what my projects are going to be for the next next week at least. Hopefully, I'll be able to get that done because I really want to do a tour. Some of you have been asking for that, and it's been a while since I did one, so I'm going to work on that, and hopefully I can bring that to you soon. And in the meantime, I hope this was enjoyable for you, and I hope to be back soon. And I hope you all have a great day. Remember to do something nice for someone, because you never know what their day was like or what they're going through. And remember the Planty Kindness Project that was started by Pam's Planty Things. And check out her channel. She's got a lot of newer plants too, so you can check her channel out. Alright, well, I think we're going to call it a day, and I'm going to get this up on YouTube for you all to see. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week if I don't talk to you before then. Alrighty. Bye-bye.